It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And 7 p.m. in New York City. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog the Scipio, joined as I am each and every week, God help us, by Amelia the Pitbull Chapman. And tonight, our friend Big Lou Marconi has joining us for
Again.
fabulous fads and TikTok challenges. How are you, Big Lou?
I'm doing good. I'm surprised I haven't been banned yet.
Not on this show. Are you kidding me?
No.
We like it here.
No.
Yes.
Look, anything that makes Amelia smile, I'm good for it.
Oh, good.
We'll bring you back. Absolutely.
Yes.
Amelia, what have you been up to, kid?
Just looking for work and studying up on some stuff that we're going to be coming
Have
up.
you found anything yet? What's going on?
No, just it says if you're a right fit, we'll contact you.
Don't you love that? Here's my favorite, Lou. This is my absolute favorite.
Mhm.
You're
Mhm.
overqualified. What the fuck does that even mean?
Yeah.
You're okay. If I'm overqualified, give me your fucking job.
Right. Exactly.
What's the problem?
Hmm.
I'll take your gig.
Yep. Yeah.
Apparently, you're not qualified for it.
And a
I'm
friend of mine
overqualified. Yeah.
from the job that I had originally had that I left for, that I had for almost 5 years, she says, I can't believe it. I'm out of this other job. I found me another job. I said, oh, so you finally escaped. She goes, yes, I escaped in November. So see, that's
Wow.
a good job.
Wow.
So, Lou, what is your gig? What is your, talking about jobs? What do you do? What's your shoot job, as they say?
My shoot job, I work for an insurance company. I'm a territory sales manager. I run a
Are
sales
you
team.
really?
I do. I
I didn't
do it
know
from the
that.
inside. Yeah, it's it's an insurance company, so that's what I
That's
work
a
for.
job, man. My heart goes out to salesmen because that's brother. When it's hard to make somebody buy something they don't want to buy,
Well,
unless you really sweeten it up and you're a good bullshitter.
they need
But
it. Well, but insurance, everybody needs it. That's why I got into the
Mhm.
gig. I'm
yeah,
not an agent. I'm not an agent per se. I'm the rep I work with independent agents to
no,
help
all
them grow
right.
their books of business with us. Yeah, so I come in and I help them with issues, make sure their systems are working good, that
Mhm.
type of stuff.
Oh,
Yeah,
good,
it's building relationships with agents more than ever. It's like and I
beautiful.
used to do it in the field when I lived in North Carolina, but now I do it from home from my
Yeah,
phone and my computer. So
Yeah.
here I am.
wow. I'll tell you
Yeah.
what. I look around and I look at my wife and I drive around sometimes. We look at some of these houses around our neighborhoods because
hmm
Mhm.
there's a
So
lot of
do it.
money
Oh
where I
yeah.
live, a lot of money. And I think, like, what do these people do for a job? Like, what did they? They have houses in the mid, like literally in the middle of the woods.
Mhm.
Like, who builds a $2.5 million house
They
in
can't
the
all be
middle
on.
of the woods
Mhm.
Yeah,
with a dirt driveway?
wow.
Exactly.
Like,
They
who does that?
well, Mad Dog, they can't all be on OnlyFans. So
I know, right?
Right.
Keep telling Neil you better make some money there, kid.
yeah, jeez, it's always funny. It's always
God help
funny.
us,
Mm.
Oh, please.
brother. Let's
Even
talk
trying to look.
tonight. Our subject tonight, ladies and gentlemen, around the world and across the seas, fabulous fads and TikTok challenges. And I will highlight for you some of the craziest fads of the last 100 years. Lou, I'm going to bring Amelia in because, we like to do ladies first around here.
Go right
So we'll
ahead.
bring Amelia up. Yeah, let me bring you up here in the big camera.
Okay.
Okay. What was the first fad you became aware of, like having to do it because everybody else was doing it?
Well, when I was
Like,
a little
what's your
girl,
favorite fad?
I remember the hula hoop when I was a little girl. Of course,
Right?
everybody liked the hula hoop. I remember that.
Sure.
And when I was like, "Oh my gosh, look at those cute little things, go outside and do something," because my mom was like, "Go outside and do something. Quit being in your room so
In other
much."
words, get the hell out of my hair.
No, because
Get out of the house.
I was in my room all the time, either watching TV or listening to music. That's all I did was listen to my radio or my stereo,
Mhm.
play my records. That's all I pretty much did. And back then, it was $1.98 for a hula hoop. But when I looked up the
Mhm.
price, would you believe they're from $699 to $1,648 is what
They
they
can
run?
get very pricey, especially for some of the older original ones.
Like, I almost fell out of my chair. I was like, "What?"
I actually had a couple of hula hoops. My sister,
Mhm,
my God rest her soul, my late sister Gina,
mhm,
when she and I were younger,
Mm.
we had hula hoops, and by the time my other sister Michelle came along, the new fad was Cabbage Patch dolls.
mhm.
We're going to talk about
I
that.
remember those. I
Yeah,
remember those. Yeah.
Oh yeah, brother, you want to talk about some pricey items?
yeah.
Go on like eBay and Etsy and some
Oh, yeah.
places like that. Holy,
Oh, yeah.
they get some big dollar signs on them. I
Mhm.
Hmm.
can't believe that someone would pay $3,400 for a stuffed cloth doll. I don't
Mm,
understand that.
yeah,
But go look at the prices on eBay. They're crazy.
yeah,
So your thing, Amelia, was hula hoops. Big Lou.
yeah.
Yes.
What was the first fad, brother, you became aware of having to get involved with because you didn't want to be left out?
You didn't want to be left out. We went. I don't know if it was a national fad or it was more of a local thing, but when I was in school, like the wearing camouflage, like army fatigues, the
Oh yeah,
pants and the shirt,
sure.
that was a big thing. So for some reason, in the mid '80s, and I was about 12 years
Yeah,
old, and
it
I had to
sure
get
the
that,
hell was.
and I
It
started wearing that
sure
all the
was.
time. I think it might have
I'm
been after the movie Red Dawn came out.
Oh, here you go. Yeah,
It
you
might
know
have. It
what?
might have had something to do. The one, the original one with Patrick Swayze and
Oh
Sylvester
yeah. And
Mm,
Stallone,
Ray
and
Dawn Chong. Yep, absolutely.
who else was it? Oh, you know who else was in it? Was Charlie Sheen was in that.
Oh, sure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So that was a great movie.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hell of a movie. Great movie. Um, I'm gonna give my age away. The first fad that I personally got involved with, and I was like 10, 11 years old. It was a big, big deal back then. Everybody had to have silly putty. It
yes.
just came out. It had just came out. This new thing called silly putty,
Oh yeah,
right?
Mhm.
Because you could flatten it on a newspaper and
and
it
peel it up.
would pull it up and it would have like the cartoon on it.
Hmm.
And you would stretch it and you could like redo it
Oh, yeah.
and it stayed. Here's the thing, Blue. It stayed the same color. It
Yeah.
Yeah.
never
Hmm.
it never faded. It
Every
never
year,
faded. It stayed the
every
same color.
every year we got one in our Easter basket when I was
Yeah,
a
Mhm.
kid.
exactly. It
Yeah.
came in an
Mhm.
egg. That
Yeah.
was the thing. It came in like an egg.
It's a really cool thing.
Yeah, it sure was. Now they stick pantyhose inside a fucking egg, Lou.
Yeah. They do.
Right, Amelia?
Yes.
Mm.
Let's talk about fabulous fads and TikTok challenges. Amelia, you're the resident TikTok guru around here, and everybody knows that. So what's
He
the
never lets me forget.
let's talk about some of I want you to kind of like lead this conversation. I want to bring it back up in the big camera here.
Mhm.
Um tell me, because you know me, I'm like, social media illiterate, mostly because I just don't care about it, to be honest with you. I just don't. Um but you like live on social media, and that's why I have you here, because
That's how she
you
found me.
yeah, exactly. And I'm glad she did, because
Blame her. Blame
Yeah.
her. Blame her.
no, I gladly accept the blame, for absolutely. Here's the thing. She does what I don't wanna and I can't.
And he hates.
So
Don't forget.
Amelia's she covers
Yeah.
2 of the 3 bases, and the other one is it's time consuming and I got better things to do with my time. So here's the thing though. TikTok is a playground, a veritable birthplace of challenges and fads, and some that are lighthearted and funny, and some where people have actually ended up seriously ill or sick, or God forbid,
Mhm.
but some of them died
Yes.
Real
during.
stupid shit.
Yeah.
Real stupid.
Yeah.
Name one is the
um
cinnamon challenge, the cinnamon taste challenge.
Tell
where they,
everybody about that, Amelia.
yeah, they would take a
yeah.
spoonful of cinnamon and think, okay, well, I'm going to see how many spoons I could take. And the first one, forget that.
Lou, do
Because
you know about that one?
I've seen it. I don't have a TikTok account or anything like that. I'm not on TikTok, but I've seen the reels of it, and it's just like,
Mhm.
okay, I thought
Yeah. That's like that to me, Big Lou, is like bizarro world.
Mhm.
That's bizarro land. Here's the other thing, Lou. I don't, and I'm sure
Go
you
ahead. Go ahead.
may have seen this, but the cinnamon challenge is the one that I still shake my head.
Yeah.
But
it's-
there's another one that you and Amelia might know about called the One Chip Death Challenge. It was a super hot nacho chip about this yay big, a huge chip that costs $12. One chip. Amelia, do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it's a chip about that big, and then you just try to see who can tolerate.
Is it like a habanero pepper type of hot?
Mhm.
Oh,
Something
like
that?
on steroids, brother. Like super hot. It had a 12 million. What was that? 12 million BT something on it.
Yeah.
But it was like
BTUs.
or yeah, whatever whatever the unit is.
It's called
Mhm.
British thermal units as BTUs.
And this thing was like 12 million. It was like off the chart. That's how hot
Good
it was.
Lord. Good.
Amelia, tell me
No,
if I'm lying.
it was horrible.
I mean, I want guys out there, listen, if you think I'm bullshitting about any of this, you got a computer, use it for real. Because this shit, like 2 people died eating these damn chips. Here's the funny thing, you guys. They're still selling them.
Yes.
They're still, you go on Amazon and type in one chip challenge. Now they're $20 for the same chip they were selling for 12.
And don't try these challenges, people, please. Whatever you do.
Yeah. If you're going to do a TikTok challenge, do like, a stupid one like the ALS ice bucket challenge or some stupid
A
shit.
duet challenge, something that's safe and funny. Don't try
Right.
anything that's going to harm you or hurt you.
Yeah,
that's gonna
like
land in the
walk
hospital.
down the Lou Street with the fake dick challenge,
I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, well, actually, it happened in England. It was guys were putting these. I'm not even making it up. Go look if you think I'm kidding. They were going into adult.
So much for being PG.
Right? Yeah, they were going into guys in England, particularly Manchester, England. We're going into adult novelty shops and buying dildos.
Giant sized, whatever.
And wearing them in their zipper like their schlong was hanging out.
Okay.
I can't go on YouTube if you think I'm making any of this. Please,
just to get the reaction of people in public, like, dude.
This is the kind of stupid stuff people do.
Yeah.
This is crazy shit.
Yeah.
My favorite of all the fads currently is this one that you have to create a video. It's called a jump in video on TikTok. This is my favorite right now for the current moment.
Jump in.
You have to jump. It's a jump in video. You have to set up your camera phone. You play a song. I think it's Burnin' Love by Elvis. Right? And they're all using the same song. It's Hunk of Burnin' Love by Elvis, right?
Okay.
And you have to jump into a scene, and then you have to jump back out of it into another scene. So you jump over your camera, then you turn your camera off, then you create another scene, then you have to jump into that scene, and then jump back into another scene to get out of it. You know what I'm talking about, Amelia?
Yeah, it's like, you have to keep going. It's like an effect like that. Yeah.
It's just one. It's weird. It's strange, but it's fascinating because the people that are doing this are really very creative and they're really good editors. TikTok, whether it knows it or not, and I think it knows it, TikTok is creating a generation of really great. I hate to give them any credit for anything, Lou, to be honest with you, but they're creating an entire generation of like really good film editors
Yeah.
and filmmakers. They really are.
Some
There's
people are not good
also
at it.
there's
Go
also
ahead.
a Sing with Young Elvis challenge too, but I don't know if they still have it up or not. But there's one where you
Yeah, that's still still a thing too. Yeah, it sure is. For some reason Elvis is really big on TikTok. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Amelia, you and I talked about this show when we were going through our meetings and stuff. So when you talk about challenges and fads, all right, fads are generally things that come in, they create some buzz, then they go away.
Yeah.
But there have been some fads, Lou and Amelia, that haven't gone away, that are still with us.
They come back, they go and come back. Yeah.
They do. I'll tell you what's coming back right now, and I don't want to scare either of you because I like you, but get ready for it, Lou, but members only jackets are coming back.
Why not?
Well, bell bottom pants have come back too.
They have?
They came back with a vengeance. I got news for it.
Yeah, and corduroy pants have come back.
My wife and I this weekend went to a place called Smithville, New Jersey. The town literally stood still in time. It looks like it today the way it looked back in the 1850s and 60s. We were at a restaurant, and outside, eating at the outside cafe, was a young woman who had a black and white halter top tied in the middle and a pair of hip hugger bell bottoms.
Wow.
Ready for this? Wait a minute. That was the best part. She had a pair of platform shoes on with it.
Wow.
She looked like something out of, like, I said to Anita at the time, I said, that's what we're doing our show about Tuesday. The fads. The fads. Yeah. And some fads come back. Some are gone forever, thank God. And some keep, rebirthing themselves. An idea that came to me was, I'm looking at like certain things today. I thought, I wonder how long that's going to stay around. Like I see certain technology. Technology too can be a fad.
Oh, absolutely.
And I look and I think to myself, because Lou and I are guys and we like gadgets, right? Yeah. Because guys do we love gadgets. And I've got a fucking room full of gadgets that I'll never use again because they're obsolete now.
Because it's not obsolete. It's not obsolete because we like gadgets. We also like boobs.
Absolutely.
That's what guys like. Gadgets and boobs.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. No question there, brother. No question.
Can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. That's a fad that'll never go away.
No, absolutely. I personally, I was a boob guy, but I'm really like a leg and ass man. I like them women like my wife who has thoroughbred legs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. My wife grew up on a farm. She literally grew up on a horse farm because her family raced horses.
Cool.
And I keep telling everybody, my wife's legs are like gazelle legs. They're beautiful, So that's where my head's at. Let's talk about the other aspect So let's talk about this. Certain things, gadgetry.
Gadgetry, yes.
Back in the day, there was a big fad. Everybody in my day had it, especially back in the 70s. Mr. Microphone, Lou.
I had one.
I saw a reel on that. I remember the commercials. Yeah, you just the guy driving by say, "Hey, good looking. We'll catch you later." Yeah. Today you'd get arrested.
Yeah.
If you did that.
Everybody gets offended with that.
Perfect idea, Amelia. That's a perfect idea, Amelia, of what you were talking about, the reboot.
Yeah.
The fad reboot. Today, the Mr. Microphone is making a huge comeback with Bluetooth.
You should see all the gadgets that come with it now. So silver and all the little buttons. Remember, it was yellow, a little spongy thing on it. Black.
You can find any color you want.
Mhm.
in Mr. Microphone.
Mhm.
My daughter's got 2 of them
Yeah.
upstairs. She's got 2 of them.
I used to put on a concert for my mom's god kids that would come over, and I put my Sylvia records on, and I put on a concert and put the little tickets together, and I even told her that. Remember on the show, and she thought that was the
Yeah, I
cutest little
remember.
thing. And yeah,
She's
they
still
loved
trying
it.
to live it down.
She loved it. You know that. She even told me that.
We are going to take a look, Big Lou and Amelia.
boobs?
We are going to take a
At
look.
boobs?
Well, you'll have to discuss that with Miss Chapman later. I can't help you with that, my friend.
Well, you just said we're going to take a look. My mind's just there. So Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I hear
Go
you.
ahead. Go ahead.
Let's take a look at some fabulous fads. I'm going to walk people through. Losing, he's in rare form tonight. Check this
Oh,
out.
this is nothing. Shit, you should have seen me Friday. Flappers.
Flappers. Okay.
Oh,
Now,
yeah, 1920s.
yeah,
Mhm.
flappers rose to prominence back in the 20s when women had gained the right to vote
Mhm.
and they participated in the workforce effort. That was a big deal back in World War One.
And then right after that was human resources.
It was the first real sign of women's independence, and it also was a blatant, a blatant kind of middle finger to don't put down my sexuality, because these flappers, some of them were very hot,
Mhm.
and that was a big deal. Here you go, it's a perfect example. That was a flapper. They gave women the opportunity, and flappers, by the way, weren't the people. It was the style of clothing.
Right.
Because when you wore it, they flapped around, and they literally called them flappers.
This was before pole dancing was invented.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly, Lou.
That's a great
That-
fad.
The yo-yo. It's a Donald Duncan reinvented an old Egyptian toy and called it the yo-yo. He was an entrepreneur who was sometimes credited with inventing the yo-yo, even though in actuality
Mhm.
the yo-yo is an ancient toy from Egypt, and it's very often depicted in Greek pottery. Back in probably 1930, 31, around there, right, after the Depression, right, kind of like right in the midst of the Depression, to be honest with you, he invented these cheap toys basically for people to have something to do. And what they really did more than anything was relieve stress.
Yes.
They were stress relievers.
Mhm.
And the Duncan yo-yo, Duncan toys, is still around today. Now kids are doing tricks with them.
Oh yeah, those are
You
what
know?
they can
Betty
do with
Boop.
them is amazing.
Did Betty Boop have something to do with the yo-yo?
Well, inadvertently she did. She made things go up and down, Lou. Shut up, Amelia. Betty Boop always reminded me of my late sister Gina, because she
Aw.
loved Betty Boop. Betty was
Lovely.
an animated icon.
Mhm.
She was an animated icon of a flapper dancer. She was the brainchild of Max and Dave Fleischer, who named her Betty Boop after one of their relatives.
Mhm.
Her name was Betty Curtis. And the dark hair, the curls, the earrings were all inspired by Betty Curtis. The other thing that Betty Boop inspired was a lot of artwork. What do they call that? Neo-Deco. Art Deco. Sculpt artwork. Deco. I guess, what do they call that? Decoupage or whatever. Amelia, you're supposed to know this shit.
Decoupage.
Yeah.
I'm still on
Number
boobs.
five.
I'm still on boobs over here. So sorry.
Exactly. Exactly. God help us.
easily distracted.
dance marathons. I'll put the musical for just a second. Dance marathons were a big deal back in the 1920s and 30s. They raised a lot of money. The dance marathons raised a lot of money for like the war effort back in the day. They were so popular that virtually every city and town in America had dance marathons every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They would start on a Friday and they would finish on a Sunday. And I meant non-stop dancing.
Wow.
And you are looking at a real, honest to God picture, not staged. That guy is passed out and that lady's on, and she's holding him up. And I want you to notice something. The women are on their feet and the men are about ready to fucking fall.
They're like, just.
There's a reason for that. And Lou can tell you, being a big guy, that when you have more muscle, it requires a lot more oxygen being a guy. And that's just
energy.
And energy. And that's, if you'll look at these guys, they look like they're fucking ready to fall. And that woman is literally holding his ass up.
Yeah.
For real. Then that was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah, and then prize money, right? They got prize money.
Yeah, wait a minute. Some of the prize money, and remember, we're talking about the Depression. Some of the prize money was up to $5,000.
Wow.
Which is even, still good money today. But $5,000 was like, 5,000 back then was like, like 70, 80 grand.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fucking money. I want you to look at that. Just look at the picture. There's a guy on his knees over there. He can't stand up. This guy over here is barely standing up. He's bent over so far. They're all smiling. They have been dancing at this point, folks, for about 72 hours.
Wow.
At this point. They usually never went more than 80 hours. But 3 full days is how they normally went, which was 72 hours.
Did they get bathroom breaks?
They did. They did get bathroom breaks. Well, here, guess what, though, Lou? Funny about that. They got bathroom breaks, but you still had to dance. So what they would do is somebody would fill in for whoever had to take a piss or whatever.
A dump.
Yeah, exactly.
That would have been a messy dance floor otherwise.
I'm telling you what, there would have been. I think that's where Little Richard got the song "Slipping and a Sliding" from.
Yeah, there you go.
Slinky. Slinky was born out of an accident.
Yeah, I remember that. 1943.
Yep. The guy was a part of. He was an architect working on a contraption that required a large spring, a coil, and he knocked the spring off of the pedestal that was sitting on, and it literally bounced and bounced and bounced, and it never stopped.
Yeah, it was to keep ships, to keep the sensitive ships from equipment steady at sea. Is what it was supposed to be.
It was called a ballast spring. Yeah, when you're talking about marine technology in the Navy and stuff like that, the word ballast means balance and even keel.
Right.
And that's what we're talking about there. So it is today. It is still around. Slinky is sold somewhere between 1 and 1.8 billion units. And the company is now worth in excess of $3 billion and still making money. Now, because of safety standards, they're all plastic now. Yeah. And they come in a multitude of colors. And they run now for about $6 to $7.
Yep,
the same Frisbee. Company that gave you the Frisbee, I'm sorry, the same company that gave you the Slinky, which was the Whammo company, also gave us the Frisbee. Now, Frisbees were initially just toys for little kids, and you can see how small it actually is in comparison to that man's hand. It's fairly small. Today, they make them very large and very small. They're all different sizes. The Frisbee is a product of the Wham-O company, which is still in business and still operating as the Wham-O company. And they are in the $1 billion club as well. You are looking
Oh yeah.
Davy Crockett and the coonskin cat.
Yes.
Lou,
That was from the movie. Yeah.
Davy Crockett and the coonskin cat, my friend.
Well,
Go ahead.
all right.
Go ahead.
Remember, there was a movie. There's a Davy Crockett movie, and it was in the 50s. And the big fad from that movie was the coonskin cap, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And a lot of kids were wearing those. Yeah.
My son had one as a kid, one of those.
Mm-hmm.
That was Davy Crockett, but television gave us something in the 1960s that was interesting. Television gave us Fess Parker, who was an actor at the time, and he came on TV as Daniel Boone.
That's right. I remember that show.
And Daniel Boone also sported the coonskin cap. Now, because you ain't gonna believe this, folks, but it actually happened. They had to rename the coonskin cap because African Americans were offended at the name coon. I can't promise you, I can't make this up. I'm not even playing here, for real. But now the coonskin cap must be called the raccoon skin cap. You have to use the entirety of its name, the raccoon, because it's basically a raccoon tail is what it is, basically.
Yeah.
That's essentially what it is. You know, so basically Davy Crockett and Daniel Boone were really like, dead animals on their head, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's the first, and I think you're going to see another picture of it maybe. Oh, here it is right there. They still make them. The coonskin cap, that was, by the way, from Amazon. It sells for $16.99 up to $29.99. And the next is Amelia's favorite, the hula hoop. The hula hoop. Big deal. The hula hoop. Got any idea how that started, Mel?
Yeah, it's actually it was a ritual dance performer for a volcano goddess is how it started. Back in it's like 1957 is when it was invented.
It was.
Mm-hmm.
Was that a Hawaiian type of thing, or
no, Lou? It was actually created in California. The company Wham-O that gave us, of course, the Frisbee and the Slinky also gave us the hula hoop. It was originally a fitness tool, Lou. It was used to tone the midsection. It was also utilized to help children with mobility issues to move their hips because doctors found at the time if they could move their hips, they could energize their legs into action. And it worked for a lot of kids to help them gain mobility. Yeah.
That's what I just Googled, and that's what Google came up with too. So it just also.
Yeah, absolutely. It was marketed as a fitness tool, and they sold 25 million units in the first 5 months of operation.
I just couldn't believe the price of
25 million hula hoops. Yep. There's another one right here. That's a young lady. That was another one. Remember, there were kids doing hula hoop tricks with like hula hoops
and their arms and everything like that. It was pretty cool.
Just little kids to show off.
I always sucked at it, so.
Yeah, well, you know what it was, Lou? Women were built better for hula hoops because of the whole hip thing. You know, the whole that gave women a very distinct advantage because they had curves and hips. Well, you know, guys are built like, sticks. Let's be honest about it. Unless you work out and then you get a little bit up on your shoulders, then I look like a Cabbage Patch doll, to be honest. But that's me. Speaking of which, Lou.
Hey, TV
another
extra.
fad.
Jack
Back
LaLanne.
in the 1950s and 60s. This is an example, Lou and Amelia and ladies and gentlemen. This is a perfect example of a fad that started and stayed and went through many modifications. You've got the young lady is Ivy Russell. The first picture you see she was dubbed the strongest woman in the world at the time. She was also a fitness guru. The man in the middle changed television history. His name is Jack LaLanne.
Yep.
And he lived to be 96 years of age and still swam the iceberg challenge at 95 years old.
Wow.
A year before he died. It's called the Polar Plunge.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Polar Bear Club. They got different names for it, but they called it the iceberg challenge.
The guy on the
The
left.
guy to the far right was legitimately the strongest man in the world. His name, drum roll, is Charles Atlas, strongest man in the world, legit.
It's on the back of all the comic books.
People yes, exactly, Lou. Charles Atlas, Jack LaLanne, and Ivy Russell changed the face of exercise forever, particularly Ivy Russell, because she was the first woman other than pro wrestler Mildred Burke who had like a set of biceps. Oh, and you can see her arm there. She's got some bicep to her.
It wasn't considered
Charles
ladylike.
Atlas, if you're looking at that picture, he's actually lifting a car off the ground. He was a strong, strong man. And then, of course, you had Richard Simmons.
Oh, there you go.
Another fad. The Richard Simmons dance, sweating with the oldies there, Lou.
Mhm.
Here's a guy that gave another example of a fad that kind of went away and came back in different forms. This is Chubby Checker. Everybody in the 1960s were doing the twist.
Yes.
That was Chubby Checker. He's the guy who said, well, here's how you do the twist. What you do is, and along with, dances like the mashed potato, the swim, the funky chicken, this was inspired by a 1960s dance craze called the twist. They were all inspired by Chubby Checker. Now, what you did was you had to swing your hips and your arms in opposite directions.
Yeah.
And the song, The Twist, was written by Hank Ballard, who had a group called Hank Ballard and the Dominoes back in the 1950s and 60s. The Twist later evolved into a game called Twister. You guys remember the game Twister?
Oh, yeah.
That game Twister with the polka dots, the big dots, actually was a direct result of Chubby Checker's game, Chubby Checker's dance, The Twist. That's for real. That's straight shoot. Here's something, again, in the exercise vein. Sauna suits. Back in the 1960s, remember, we were going through a space thing.
Yes.
The space race was on. Kennedy sent, the people to NASA to get trained. By 1967, 68, we were shooting rockets off. All this happy horse shit, right? Well, that spawned another, cottage industry called sweatsuits. These were plastic and vinyl suits that you wore to exercise in. Here's the problem with the early sweatsuits. People were dropping out. Some even died from
heat exhaustion.
Oh man.
Yeah, from what's the hypoplasia, which is essentially all the water in your body drains out. They forgot to tell people you need to drink water while you're sweating this stuff off.
You need to hydrate.
You got to replenish it. So what they did then, they got smart and they redesigned the sweatsuit. And then here's what it looked like. And by the way, Lou and Amelia, ladies and gentlemen, these suits were $6.95, postage paid.
Wow.
How about that?
I wonder if they come in Lizzo size.
Oh, brother, you talking about like that's a special order item.
Yeah, it's a freaking parachute.
Yeah, that's special order. Now, this is a fad
Mm,
that came and went, and God help us, but it came back again.
yeah.
The vibrating weight loss. It was actually called, folks, I'm not even lying. It was called the vibrating weight loss shimmy belt. And that's how they marketed that item, Lou.
Hey, whatever adults are into, that's all their business.
In advertisements, the
My
makers of the vibrating shimmy belt promised their devices would jiggle a person's belly fat away. And you could put it on your belly, your butt, your legs, and it would vibrate the fat away.
Even
They
Lizzo.
were so popular in the 1950s and 60s, Lou, that sales exceeded
goodness.
$3 million for that period of time, which was astronomical. Okay?
This is twerking before twerking.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
That's
And they're
what it
putting it on a skinny person. Okay.
Now we could talk about Lizzo, Lou, for
was.
real.
No, sure. She's
Because
There you
here
go.
is, this is the modern, this is real, folks. This is not a mock-up. It's a real picture of a real 2024 shimmy belt that you could buy on Amazon, because that's where that picture came from. And they sell for about $200.
yeah.
You can get them anywhere from $99 to $200.
Miles, you could put a basket, then play basketball.
Do they even work?
They actually don't.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
they don't do anything for fat loss.
No,
they
they
just shake
don't.
the hell out of you.
They just make you vibrate, Lou. That's all they do.
Mm.
Oh,
They have absolutely no physiological benefit other than making you vibrate. They don't shake weight away.
that's like going in the steam room. That doesn't do
yeah.
anything for your fitness. Nothing.
No,
Mm-mm.
not a thing. People don't understand this, but here's the sad, sensible truth is the only way you're going to lose weight is to get up and move.
Yes.
You got to get up and you got to move. You got to oxygenate your body. People go to the weight, and present company, excluded, because, Lou exercised and built himself up to be a bodybuilder. And that's what he did. But the truth of the matter is, there is absolutely no evidence that supports that weightlifting is beneficial in any way, shape, or form. You're either predisposed to muscularity, or you're not, male or female.
Genetics.
That's it, Lou. It's genetics.
And
You got some people, Big Lou. God bless you. You got the genes for it.
Yeah.
I don't.
There's more than one reason why I'm called Big Lou. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's he's got like a like quadruple extra large jock cup, folks. So, these are Amelia,
Mayor of Pound Town.
Did you ever see these before?
I've just heard about Tang. I've never seen that before. No.
Remember something I said back in the 50s, back in the 60s here. This was a big fad that came and went and tried to come back again and failed miserably. They were giving people the idea that astronauts were eating this stuff, because back in the day you could advertise this product and you could be an astronaut and endorse the product, and NASA endorsed it, all this other shit, right?
What, they were eating it from the studio where they filmed it?
Exactly. From the studio with the moon background. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Because it was all bullshit anyway, and it's still bullshit. Because what you're looking at, these space food sticks, say that one fast, right? These space food sticks are no more than caramel, chocolate, vanilla. This happens to be chocolate, but essentially what they are, they're made by the same people that made Tootsie Roll, the Henry Ford Company. They also made Cadillacs, Oldsmobiles, all this other shit. Okay. Henry Ford, by the way, was an automotive producer. people don't understand that the Henry Ford Company, in addition to making cars, made food as well, and they made candy as well. Tootsie Roll was owned by the Henry Ford Company, who also made space food sticks. And essentially, if you ate a space food stick, and you're going to see kind of what they looked like here, basically, and that's what they looked like. They were
Wow.
kind of long, like a Tootsie Roll wrapped in paper, and
Hmm.
that was chocolate. And they didn't taste much different. I could tell you because I used to eat them when I was a kid. They don't taste much different than a Tootsie Roll. And they have about the same kind of consistency, you know?
So they packaged them for kids to buy, so to get your attention for kids.
They found a way to get you coming and going, Amelia, is what they did.
Mhm.
Okay. You're going to love this one. Another fashion fad of the 1950s and 60s. This is called, I can't make it up, you guys. Again, go look it up if you think I'm bullshitting. This is a real thing. It's called the Leg Beauty Kit. It was one of the earliest examples of a widely popular fitness product using rubber resistance bands. The kit was marketed to women as an inexpensive way to slim down their legs. Let me show you, Lou and Amelia, what they looked like. You're looking at them. They are rubber bands. They still make them today in a lot of different varieties. They're called, but they're marketed today as rubber resistance bands. Truth in advertising, because that's what they are. They're giant rubber bands. That was it, kids. That was it right there. One of my favorites.
Oh, I remember those.
Shoes.
Yes,
My
I had a
sister had
pair
them.
of those.
Yep, the jelly shoes. Amelia, you're a woman. You had jelly shoes.
Yeah, me and my sister both did. We
Tell
had.
everybody what the hell was so special about the damn jelly shoes.
It was just something that we had to have because every girl had them, and we had to have them to be like the other girls. If not, we were made fun of because we didn't have jelly shoes.
That was the thing.
That was it.
That was the underlying thing to every fad, ladies and gentlemen. If you didn't have it or do it, you weren't cool. You weren't hip. You weren't part of you didn't count as in pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
that jelly shoes sold for an astronomical $19 at the time, which was unheard of for a pair of shoes made out of rubber.
Yeah.
Which is basically all they were. They were just rubber molded shoes.
Or
Now, ladies and gentlemen,
Mhm.
just to give you an idea of a bad idea that has reinvented itself, we have now the modern jelly shoe. It's called the Croc.
Yes.
Okay. The Croc shoe sells for $170. And all it is a molded piece of fucking plastic. That's it. That's what you're paying $170 for. It cost them. I found out what it cost to make a pair of Crocs. Under $1.50.
Wow.
It cost under $1.50 to make a pair of Crocs, and they sell them for $170, and they can go more. So very few or less, but they can go more. Another one. Here you go.
I remember this. Oh yeah, we had one.
They're still around too.
Mm-hmm.
This is another example, ladies and gentlemen, of an idea at a time. It came about at a time when people were looking to exercise their mind, something to do, something to keep themselves busy. Well, an inventor by the name of, and I'll tell you his name right now, folks, because I got it right here. His name was Erno Rubik. He was an architect. Came up with this idea of a puzzle to keep you busy while you were, looking for work or, like Amelia. I'm going to get you me and Lou are going to pitch in and get you a Rubik's Cube.
All right. And it
keep
came
you
about
busy
when I
for
was
about 5 minutes, then you'll get confused with it.
right.
but the game was a massive success. Even today, it's still around.
Mm-hmm.
One of those things that kind of like came and went and then made a resurgence, and it stayed. And
Yeah.
and also what helps is now they come in different sizes. You can
Yeah.
you can buy one that fits on your keychain.
It's actually a keychain
Mhm.
too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. How about that shit?
Yeah.
Did you
How
ever
many of
solve
you
one of
guys
these?
have seen this?
I'm sorry.
I've solved all but one color.
Okay.
Right?
The
Look at
Macarena.
here's a fad
Mhm.
that came and went, but except we're going to talk about a couple of dance fads here. Except the Macarena is now hugely popular at wedding receptions,
Mm-hmm.
private parties,
Quinceañeras, we do that all
bachelorette
the time.
parties. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
The
Quinceañeras, really?
Macarena
Yeah, we do that at all of our parties that we go to.
that was written and performed by a Spanish duo called Los Del Rio. Am I saying that right, Amelia? Los
Yes.
Del Rio?
Mm-hmm.
And the Macarena was actually a young lady's name. It was the daughter of the group's founding member. Her name was Macarena. I don't know what it actually means, but Macarena. It topped the charts for 14 weeks, and it went away. And somebody decided, you know what? That's a great wedding song. We could do that. Another one, Big Lou. You'll remember this one, Lou. The
Oh, the
electric
electric
slide.
Yep.
boogie woogie. Yep.
In 1976, Neville Bunny Whaler Livingston wrote a catchy little song called Electric Boogie for his childhood buddy, Marcia Griffith. The choreographer created the electric slide, a 22-step dance song that incorporated grapevines and a series of forward and backward slide steps. Hence the name, the electric slide. The electric boogie became the electric slide. And that is going on its, believe it or not, it's going on almost 50 years. It's
Wow.
hard to fucking fathom that in 2028, the electric slide will be 50 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Scary thought, right?
Very.
Every wrestler's friend, the fanny pack. I happen to have 4 of them.
I had
Ladies
one.
and gentlemen,
Yeah.
I
had
have
one.
different shapes, different sizes, but I got 4. The fanny pack. Lou, I'm sure you got one.
Somewhere. I
I
had
know
one. Yeah.
you do. You're a wrestler. You got one.
Yeah. We all walked around with our
You
fanny
know who
packs.
made the fanny pack popular for wrestlers? Your friend Al Snow.
Oh, he did?
He sure the fuck did. He used to wear it to TV. That's how it became popular with wrestlers. Guys realized that they could shove their shit in this bag, throw it in their locker, and not have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. You put everything you need was right there. I used to do that all the time. Yep.
The
Wallet, keys.
concept of the fanny pack is not new. Let me tell you what happened. In 2018, an expedition to the Swiss Alps uncovered a Cro-Magnon. How do they say that? A Cro-Magnon, like an Iceman, a guy in the ice, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
He was a frozen, prehistoric guy, frozen. He had this thing on, this fanny pack. Essentially, what it was a leather pouch that he got from an animal. He made a pouch out of an animal,
Oh wow.
and he had his bows and arrows in it, and he had it in front of him the way this young man is wearing his fanny pack across his front. The concept was discovered. I'm sorry, the concept is prehistoric. A frozen body dating back 5,000 years was discovered wearing a waist bag not much different from today's modern fanny pack. Hence, production of the fanny pack instituted in the 1980s. I'm sorry, in the 2018s. I'm looking at the wrong one for troll dolls. And around 2020, an estimated 500 million units of fanny packs were sold around the world. The next one. Here's the next one, folks. The troll doll.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
What do you guys remember about the trolls and the Cabbage Patch?
they were all over the place.
Yeah, enough to where the trolls had a movie made of them not just a few years ago.
But a
Right?
lot of kids, they had them and the hair and everything.
Yeah, they took them, and a lot of ladies took them to bingo. It's good luck.
I'm going to lay a statistic on you. The next couple of items are going to blow your mind. The troll doll has sold in excess of 1 trillion units.
Wow.
1 trillion units. People collect them by the dozens.
Wow.
And they all pretty much have the same face. The only thing that differs occasionally is the eye color and the hair color. But every face is identical. How about that for some shit?
Wow.
They're all identical. Which is, if you think about it, is fucking remarkable.
Yeah. Except for the eye colors and hair colors different, but everything else is right.
Exactly.
Wow.
This is the mother of all fads, the Cabbage Patch.
Oh my God. Back in the day when we didn't have the internet when this came out, so you had to wait in line at the store to get one.
Exactly, Lou. And people were literally ending up in the hospital.
Oh, yeah.
Beating each other up. I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding.
No.
No, there was fights. I seen it.
Oh,
in
yeah.
1976, a guy named Xavier Roberts, who was an art student, came up with this needlepoint thing in his home country of Germany, right? So he comes up with this doll, and everybody likes it. People are commenting on it. He enters this doll in a contest, and it wins first prize for most original concept, right? He gets an investment from some friends, college buddies, right? He starts to mass produce these. They're all handmade at the time. He starts to mass produce them 20, 30 at a time during the day, right? While he's going to school. He starts to sell them for $40 a piece. Can't keep up with the demand to the point where he sold his patent to the Raggedy Ann company, the people that make the mass manufacture Raggedy Ann. Long story short, his patent that he sold and is paid royalties on, he's a multi-trillionaire, okay?
Wow.
The Cabbage Patch doll has netted worldwide to date in 2024 $100 trillion plus.
Wow.
100. You hear what I'm saying?
That
100 trillion plus. Crazy money.
Wow.
Crazy money.
Popular item, that's for sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And the next, I believe, might be. There it is. How a movie toy became real. Now, you guys know the film Jingle All the Way with Arnold Schwarzenegger and the late Phil Hartman.
Sinbad.
Okay, let me tell you about something here. They made a couple of prop toys for this movie. They made 7 Turbo Man dolls for the movie. In case 1 or 2 broke, they had extra. Okay. The film company, Paramount Pictures, was so inundated, so swamped with requests for how do we get a Turbo Man doll? My kid wants one. My kids want one. You know, my son wants a Turbo Man. How do I get one? The answer was simple. You can't. It's not a real doll. Until somebody finally said,
Let's
we
make them.
need to fix that problem.
Yeah.
So Paramount Pictures, in conjunction with Funko Pop. You know what Funko Pop is, right? You guys know what Funko Pop is?
Oh,
No.
those is that those little bobbleheads?
That's
things?
what they are. That's it, Lou. That's a Funko.
Yeah.
The people who put the time and energy into creating the real Turbo Man doll is Funko Pop. They own, in conjunction with Paramount Studios, they own the licensing worldwide for Turbo Man. They manufacture Turbo Man. Now, let me tell you something, folks. Turbo Man is going to set you back about anywhere from $78 to
Whoa.
$250 or more,
Oh my goodness.
depending on what accessories you want for him.
Oh.
Do you want the rocket booster? Do you want his enemies included in the package? Because remember, in the movie, he fought off his enemies, played by, Sinbad at the time, right?
Right.
And oh, by the way, just a shout out to Sinbad, get well, brother. He's in really, really bad shape. Really, really, really bad shape. Sinbad is not doing well.
No,
All.
I saw something on Netflix or something with Netflix promoting. I've actually seen him live perform. He was very funny.
Yeah, he's in bad shape now. I don't know if he's still performing. I don't think he really can.
No, he did something. It was something on stage with his family, and he was being grateful. He's being very grateful and thankful for people helping him and everything.
Yeah, I saw that same clip. That's the one I'm referring to, Lou.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
he wasn't in good shape.
No.
But yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is turbo time. Turbo Man is real. You can actually buy him now. And, like Arnold would say in the movie, my wife hates when I do this. It's turbo time.
It's turbo time.
All right.
Turbo time.
You remember?
Down.
You remember the 1984 Wendy's Where's the Beef? Remember that?
Yeah.
Lady?
Oh yeah.
Oh God. Yeah, Amelia, tell me some fads.
Well, that lady, she's a Russian lady. Her name is Clara Peller, but she actually got fired from Wendy's.
I know. Yeah.
Because she starred in a commercial for Prego pasta plus spaghetti sauce because she goes, I found it. It's here. Yeah. They actually fired her from Wendy's for saying that.
Yep, they sure the hell did.
And
not only was she in breach of contract, Amelia,
yes,
but she violated her no compete clause.
Exactly, and she should have.
You don't do that.
Nope, she was making so much money.
If you work for WWE, you got to wait. What is it? 90 days, Lou? Before you go to another competing promotion.
I think it's 90 days with any kind of company. You can't, even if you will work like for a medical place, you have to do that here too.
I worked for a company they had a 6-month no compete clause.
Yeah.
You couldn't work for anyone else for 6 months.
Now, with her, didn't she have an agent that knew better, that could have told her, like, hey,
yeah, she sure the hell did.
Yeah, but I guess you did it under the rug or something like that, but they still found out anyway because
it's on TV. Jesus,
yeah.
No shit. They found out.
Down to was her agent at William Morris did not fully disclose to her the legalities of what she was getting herself into. Exactly. Here's the problem, Lou and Amelia, and this, Lou, being in the business, it's hard to say no to cash money.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
They offered Clara Peller a fucking boatload. She was a legit old lady who was hotter than hell, doing like she was doing talk shows.
Yes.
She was doing all kinds of appearances.
Popular lady.
They flew her all over the place.
And she made a WrestleMania appearance too.
She
Yeah.
sure the hell did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and do you remember the pet rock that they were selling? Also, it comes with this little crate with a little confetti, everything like that you would buy.
The
Mm.
pet rock. Yep.
My dad, because it's good for stress relief, things like that. My dad goes, "Here." I was like, "Oh, he goes, you don't need a pet rock. We got
Mhm.
plenty of them outside. Here you go." I was like, "Okay."
I
Yeah.
got one that I think might stump Big Lou. I think you might have forgotten about these. How about this one, Lou? The mood ring.
I was
Oh
just
yeah.
thinking it. You read my mind. I was just thinking that.
See, look at
The
that.
mood ring.
Yep.
How
Mood
about that
ring.
one, Amelia? What'd you find out about the mood ring?
Oh yeah, they still sell them to this day.
They do. That's
They do.
another example of a fad that went away, came back, and stayed.
Yeah,
You
if you
can,
go to
and not only do they still sell, but now they have other jewelry
Mhm.
that turns different colors with your body
Oh,
heat.
yeah, earrings, necklaces, anything
Mhm.
like that.
All
Ankle
kinds of stuff.
bracelets.
My wife's got a few stuff.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
Lou,
so
give me
funny.
an idea here, Lou, of some fads that maybe we might have glossed over, maybe we missed.
Some fads. Oh God,
The
there was. But
FAD, Lou,
if you want,
FAD.
oh, fads. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Fads.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
Well, there was always the one. I remember there's all these crazy, stupid things kids did where they like fit as many people they could in a phone booth,
Oh yeah.
Yep.
and
And Volkswagens. Yep.
Mhm.
Volkswagens, and they would just trying to think, or they'd fit as many people as they could. You know, there was a one fad, and that '70s show did a thing about it where there was contests where you could win the car if you kept your hand on it
Yeah.
Oh
for
yeah.
as long as you could. Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
Um, God, there's a lot of crazy fads.
There
That
was one that a lot of people don't think about as a fad.
hmm,
I don't know if you ever did this, Amelia, when you were a lot of girls did this.
Mhm.
Some boys, but mostly girls. The ball and jack, playing jacks.
Yeah, we did that. My
oh yeah,
mom loved playing jacks with us.
People don't
We
think
do
of
that.
that as a
Mhm.
fad, but it really
Yeah,
was a fad
it was, and
because
then
once the 1970s hit,
Mhm.
they were pretty well gone.
the big hair with the Aquanet hairspray too.
Oh my God, the big hair.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I think New Jersey takes credit for that.
Yeah.
That's
ozone
Jersey.
gone.
Yeah, that's Jersey girl hair. That's what
Mhm.
they call that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
well,
stuff that piled up, that's Jersey girl hair.
in my 20s and the 90s, you wore the grunge. You had the ripped up jeans and the flannels.
Mhm.
You went
Yep.
grunge.
Yep.
And we
Yeah.
had
But
the
my
black
thing back in the
bracelets too.
70s, Lou, was, you know, those fucking members only jackets, they looked cool on you, man. They looked cool on you. They were anybody was seen in the members only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the TV commercial.
Oh,
Burt Reynolds,
yeah.
Paul Newman,
S-
like even Charlton Heston
The big
did
fad
a
from
friggin' members only commercial.
there was two big fads in the '70s after Smokey and the Bandit. The sales for the Pontiac Firebirds went through the
CB
roof.
Oh
radios.
yeah.
CB
Mhm.
radios, yeah.
CB radios. I had two of them. Are you shitting me?
You
The big
remember?
old boom boxes too.
Yeah, you remember enough
Oh
the
yeah.
TV show Friends, like when that
Mhm.
got real popular, everybody was getting the Rachel haircut. All the women were.
Mhm.
Oh
That same
God,
haircut.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah, a lot of
Yeah,
the
that's
women were
the
getting the
Jennifer
Rachel.
Aniston, yeah.
Or the
Oh
Bo
yeah.
Derek movie 10, the cornrows.
Yeah, the cornrow braids.
Yeah, the
Absolutely.
braids, yeah. So
Yep.
yeah, those are a bunch of fads that happened.
And
Oh
fucking
yeah.
to Ravel's Bolero.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
There.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Your friend Captain Miserable is back. I love Captain Miserable. He says, I want to play strip poker with Amelia. Oh, strip
Twister.
twister.
Strip
Strip
twist.
twister with Amelia.
Captain Miserable.
He
Captain
disappeared, but
Miserable.
then he came back.
Private message me, Captain. I'll give you her phone number.
Yeah. Is there also do we have another fan named Major Asshole?
Right? Where's he at? Let's see.
Where's he at?
I got my big brother here, Lou.
Oh,
It's all right. He's a guy. We're distracted by
Amelia's
boobs.
got a couple of fans on here that
I
like
do.
her a lot. Captain
Oh,
Miserable was
Captain, my
one.
captain, my captain.
Oh,
What can
Captain,
I
my
say?
Captain. Oh, Captain. Oh,
Yeah, no,
Dead
What
Poet
Captain
can I
Miserable.
Society.
Oh, no,
say?
let me tell you something. I love Captain Miserable. He's great.
Oh, hey, Big Lou Marconi. I didn't know you did that. Holy
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah.
I'm famous now.
Yeah, for real.
podcaster
Um,
now.
I'm
Bring some
let
something.
me
leg
see.
warmers. That was in too. Leg warmers. Remember
Leg
those?
I'll
warmers.
bring some leg. Yeah, that was a fad
Yeah.
too. Remember them?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what movie popularized the leg warmers was
Mhm.
Flashdance.
Yes, I remember that
You
movie.
saw them in Flashdance
Hmm.
and even before Flashdance. Well, kind of right at the same time was a
Hmm.
movie called Fame with Irene
Yeah.
Cara.
Hmm.
Yes.
The late Irene Cara. She passed away. God rest her soul.
Yes,
Um,
wonderful voice that she has. She also
oh
sang in
my God.
Flashdance too. She
Hmm.
sang What a
Yeah, she
Feeling.
sure
Yeah.
the hell did.
Hmm.
Yep. Yep. She
I
sure
remember
did.
Fame. I remember that
Oh
Yeah.
movie.
yeah, that was a
That
good
was
movie.
one of my favorite movies. It really was.
There
Um,
was. Oh, go ahead. I
no,
was
I
trying to
was
think
just
of
I was
another.
just going to say something to Captain Miserable. I think she wears like maybe like a 1X, maybe 2X. I'm not
Mhm.
sure. Just to give her a little bit of room. Yeah, probably like maybe like a 2. You want to just go a little bigger
Now my legs are.
because
No,
then
I
when she
feel
washes
one.
them, they're going to shrink up a little bit. I don't want to get too tight.
I
But
got.
go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry, guys.
I got skinny legs.
No, no, it's all there. It's all there.
I got
You got a
skinny
skinny
legs.
brain too, Amelia. Oh my God. Lou, promote
Woo!
yourself, my friend. What's
Promote
going
myself.
on?
Okay, I got the part of the Fanatical Elves Network of the Burning River Brown Stock. So I do my brown stuff every Sunday. I'm on Rumble with Corey Castle. We do the Sunday Stew Pot. So, and it looks like I'm in talks with possibly teaming up with you guys. So, we'll
Lou
stay tuned for that.
Marconi will be the new face and voice of Wrestling with the Future
Yes,
Mhm.
I
with
am.
Amelia co-hosting it right by his side. I will produce the show. You will
And
not see my fucking face on Wrestle with the Future anymore.
I
But
wonder,
I will
I,
produce the show.
I wonder if Captain Misbro went to the Bill Cosby School of Bartending.
Right?
Sorry.
Oh, damn.
What did we
Just came out, man.
Yeah,
Just
I
came
hear
out.
you. I
Mm.
got that one too, by the way. A lot of people
Yeah,
don't.
be nice.
Yeah. Well, you mean what's the fee? I don't the fee.
Well, I'll tell you what. Big
I
Lou
got
will be
jokes.
here.
I
We
got
will.
jokes.
He
Yeah.
does have jokes, people.
I
Oh,
do.
dude, it's funny how you said that. I got jokes. The last conversation I had with New Jack, because he stayed with me for a couple days here at my
Yeah,
house.
Jerome. Yeah, good dude.
Yeah, Jerome Young. Um, what a character, man. He got legit heat with me
Uh-oh.
because I was telling jokes about him.
Oh.
And if you knew Jerome, he did not have a sense of humor at all.
No,
He did
no.
not.
I
He had no sense of humor, largely because he was either high, drunk, or uh,
Mm.
or intoxicated on both substances at the time, particularly vodka and cocaine.
Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
And I liked Jerome, but Jerome was his own worst enemy, and I miss him.
Mhm.
I miss talking to him. I miss getting
Mhm.
into exchanges with him. He was a very unique. He was a nice man. He was a great guy, but he was also extraordinarily bipolar. He
Mm.
he could flip like the wind.
Oh my goodness.
And am I lying, Lou?
No, you're not.
That's
And I
sad.
I kind of was very I don't know, say careful. I had pretty good people skills. I would think that I was able to talk to people and be respectful. You read somebody, you know if you can joke with them or not. And I don't
Mhm.
really mess with people unless I know them very good in the locker room. It's like a slight
Yeah,
rib or anything. I never did that with him. I was just, how you doing, New Jack? Good to see you. That's always it.
yeah,
And him and I
Mm.
would hang out, and it was cool. Yeah, if you're cool with him, he's cool with you.
oh,
Honestly, that's the way he
absolutely,
was. That's the way he was. So, but there was one
yeah,
tape. There was a guy in Florida which he was potatoing him, and New Jack took out a knife and started
Mhm.
stabbing the guy.
yeah,
Did you ever? Yeah. And I was talking to
oh yeah,
Meania. the Brian Heffern Blue Meanie about that, and we looked at each other. And go, if there's any guy you working a potato, why would you do that to New Jack?
Yeah, that's the
It's a
wrong
dumb-
guy to because he's
Mhm.
you know
he's off his mark. I mean, he's not.
he was legit. Like something was wrong there. Well, Amelia, what do you
Yes.
got coming up? What do we got coming up
Tomorrow, Lou and I
I'm
are
here.
going to be doing a show
We're here.
called Addicted to
forgot.
Sports.
I
Yes,
will
we'll
be
talk sports.
producing that show tomorrow night. I
Mhm.
will not be with Lou and Amelia. Tomorrow night is he knows it now. Tomorrow is going to be Lou Marconi's audition.
Oh,
on
I don't have the
WWTF.
job yet. Okay.
Well, yeah, you do, but you're
Got
gonna, you still got to audition. That's like going to work for the Fed. You know,
Do I have to wear a shirt?
only if you want to stay on the air,
Yes.
or you want to get Amelia divorced.
No, I'm married too. It's just,
He doesn't watch the show anyway, but anyway,
I
no.
hear you.
no.
I
It's
got
okay.
all my
But
rings on it.
no,
Yeah.
June. Actually, this will be the last show in May that we have. Actually,
Yes.
This is the last one tomorrow night in May. We will continue, folks, to stick with our Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday schedule.
Mhm.
We have decided, Amelia and I, that we are going to reserve Thursdays and Fridays for those special guests who cannot, for whatever reason, accommodate us on our normal schedule. Some of those people include Mike Lynch, Johnny Whitaker from Family Affair,
Mhm.
our friend Kevin Sorbo from Hercules, who will
yeah.
be back with us in November. I have confirmed. I spoke to Kevin yesterday. Kevin will be back joining us in November, and he will also be back with us Christmas time.
We got to get Alex Jones on.
I'm working. Actually, we almost had Alex. I actually had Alex's permission to show the Bohemian Grove special
wow.
on our program.
Yes.
And he gave his blessing through his
Yes, he
people, of
did.
course, but I never actually got to speak to Alex himself.
Mhm.
If anyone out there who knows Alex can forward that message to him, that Mad Dog DeCipio from What's the Buzz and Big Lou Marconi would like to have him on here.
Oh yeah.
I'm afraid to put him with Amelia because she might destroy the poor bastard. But Lou and I will be gentle.
Oh, I'll be nice this time unless he angers me.
She says this time. Listen to her.
This
folks.
time.
She said this time.
Oh, don't you know better than to tussle with a Latina?
That's right.
You walk into it, but you limp out of it. Jesus.
Exactly. For real.
I know better.
For real. We got some good stuff coming up. We really do.
Oh yeah.
Some of the shows coming up, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
June the 3rd.
June. I'll tell you what we got going on here. We got some interesting stuff. Amelia might. I don't think you know about this one too, Mel. In June 3rd, we have a young lady joining us. Her name is Rita Giganti. She is a psychic and medium. She is also interesting in that her father was a New York mafia boss named Vincent the Chin Giganti. And Rita is a legit psychic and medium who grew up with a mafia boss for a father. How about that for a crazy mixing of the worlds? And she was born that way, like I was.
Yeah.
Yep. It is what it is. We will do an interesting series of shows I think you'll find very intriguing. We're doing June 3rd, government cover-ups. June 4th, we're doing shadow governments. Who's really running things? Is it the Illuminati? Is it the U.S. government? Or is it something far more sinister, maybe like Bilderberg or the Council of Nine or the Committee of 300? On June the 5th, we will talk about the Q phenomenon. QAnon. What's happening? Who is Q? How does John F. Kennedy Jr. play in this? Is he still with us, Mr. Kennedy? Or is he, in fact, legitimately dead? Many people say, oh, contraire, not so fast there, Mad Dog. I think John is still with us. And there is substantial proof, by the way, to support that notion. No conspiracy stuff here, folks. This is the real deal. Legit forensic proof that he may actually still be alive. The strange case of Dr. Jeffrey McDonald,
Yes,
a man who actually worked as a professional wrestler in order to get money to help pay for his murder conviction. You can't make this stuff up.
I knew that was the Sam Shepard too, wasn't it?
Sam Shepard. Yep, Dr. Sam Shepard. By the way, another doctor.
Yeah, that was.
But
yep.
I'll tell you who else went into pro wrestling that you may not remember. George Reeves, that played Superman. George Reeves went into pro wrestling when his career tanked. And we're going to revisit, Lou. We're going to revisit the case of George Reeves.
When his
Who
suicide
killed
was very
Superman Part 2.
Yeah, there was a movie about that called Hollywoodland.
Remember the first one we did?
Oh yes, I remember that one. That was a good.
That was a slammer. Holy shit! That was one of those oh my god shows. That was for real.
Wow.
Who killed Superman Part 2? We will do that. On June 17th, a very, very special look at Dan Ely and the 50th anniversary of Paul McCartney and Wings at Junior's Farm. My friend Dan Ely will be here. He spent 3 weeks with Paul McCartney at Junior's Farm in Madison, Tennessee. And there he befriended Denny Lane, Jimmy McCullough, Jeff Britton, and, of course, the legendary Paul McCartney and Linda, his wife, Linda McCartney, the late Linda McCartney. June 18th, COVID and the zombie apocalypse. How we know COVID was bullshit. We will dissect COVID. And June 19th, the celebrity factor. If celebrities tell you it's true, and then by God, it's got to be true. Why do spokespeople, why do companies always use spokespeople that are celebrities? Because we listen. We love them, and we're stupid. We buy what they sell. That's why. Exactly. It's your fault, America. You're fucking stupid. You listen to celebrities. Hey, it is.
I'm agreeing with you.
I gotta call him out, Lou.
Yeah, it's like buy this toothpaste or buy this shampoo.
Says do it, people do it.
Yeah.
Look at what happened when and I love Donald Trump, but look at what happened when Donald Trump said to people, drink bleach because it kills COVID. People were overdosing and going to the hospitals left and right from drinking Clorox. I can't make this
that's
up.
What they were doing.
I can't.
You drink bleach, that's what you do. He didn't say that though, which was even dumber. He never fucking said that.
He never said it. That was the thing. But he strongly implied it. Let's be honest.
He talked. It was about disinfect. It was just. I mean.
The whole.
He could have chosen his words better. Yes, I agree. But he didn't tell people to drink bleach.
No, there's something that I think he and Fauci went round and round on.
Yeah, let's see what happens when Biden puts into order to wear a mask. Let's see what happens that time.
Yeah. On June 24th, we will do the China syndrome. Our relationship with China. Is it a good idea to even engage in that conversation and to follow in with that show? The end of TikTok, ? Does China know too much? And a very special guest will be joining me on June the 26th. Was Jesus real? Was he a real person? Who wrote the Bible? On July 1st and July the 2nd, the case for God. Is God real? Is there a God or is it all make-believe? Who invented who? Did God invent man or did man invent God?
That would be
we will
interesting.
have that conversation.
Mhm.
And
gonna be
on
very
July
interesting.
3rd, to tie into 4th of July, July 3rd, we will discuss, is freedom really free? Is it an illusion? The show will be called, Is Freedom an Illusion? You may be shocked to know the real answer, but maybe not surprised. And I'll leave it at that. But for and before I go, I have to do this, folks.
Mhm.
My father passed away January 22nd. I'm sorry, January 21st, 2022. He
Okay.
would have been 84 years old today.
Happy
And
birthday.
I
Happy
talk,
birthday, Pop.
I talk about my father a lot on the show. I miss him. What amazing. This man, Papa, and you know I'm not lying. Papa was a character. And you're going to see when I tell you he was a character, you're going to see for yourself.
Mhm.
I put a little a tribute together for my dad. This is a happy birthday, Pop. We're going to leave this way, folks.
Yeah.
And there will be no credits tonight, but
Good
here's
night.
the Papa.
Happy heavenly birthday, Pop.
On behalf of Amelia, Big Lou Marconi, I'm the Mad Dog. Pop, this one's for you.
And now the end is near, and so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway and more, much more than this. I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do, saw it through without exemption. I planned each charted course, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall, and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing, and now, as tears subside, I find